Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are jumping straight into the animal kingdom to figure out the one single thing that creates this massive split between almost every creature on the planet. Let's get right into it. So just think about that for a second. A dog and a spider. I mean, sure, one's furry, one has 8 legs, one barks, the other spins these incredible webs, but what's the one deep down biological feature that puts them on completely different teams? Yep, that's it. The backbone. It's that simple. Whether an animal has one or not is the very first, most fundamental way that scientists classify them. It literally splits the entire animal kingdom into two huge and, as we'll see, very unequal sides. All right, first up, let's talk about the team we all know and love because, well, we're on it. This is Team Backbone, or as they're officially known, the vertebrates. So, what does it mean to be a vertebrate? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You have a backbone, a spinal column that's part of an internal skeleton. Think of it like this scaffolding that gives an animal its shape and, crucially, protects a super well-developed nervous system. It's the blueprint for a lot of the biggest, most complex animals out there. And within this big group, you've got 5 major classes that you're definitely going to recognize. Let's do a quick lightning round and meet the whole crew. First off, you've got the mammals. That's us, of course. This group is incredibly diverse, covering everything from the dog sleeping on your couch to a massive blue whale out in the ocean. The big takeaways? They're warm-blooded, got hair or fur, and they produce milk for their young. Next, we have the birds. Now, they're also warm-blooded like us mammals. But what really sets them apart are their feathers, amazing for flight and for staying warm, and the fact that they lay hard-shelled eggs. You know, from a massive eagle soaring high above to a penguin waddling on the ice, birds are just incredible. And rounding out Team Backbone, we have the cold-blooded crew. This is a huge mashup, including fish, who breathe with gills, think sharks, reptiles, all covered in scales, like snakes, and amphibians, who live that famous double life in water and on land, like a frog. So that's the whole team. But how big is this team really? Just take a look at this number, 3%. What on earth could that possibly mean? You heard that right. Every single mammal, bird, reptile, amphibian, and fish, all of them combined, make up just a tiny 3% of all animal species on this planet. Kind of shocking, isn't it? Which, of course, begs the question, who makes up the other 97%? It's time to meet the other side. Welcome, everyone, to the absolutely vast, overwhelming majority of the animal kingdom, the invertebrates. And here is their number, 97%. I mean, the scale of that is just, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? Just look at that tiny little sliver for us vertebrates, compared to the absolute skyscraper of a bar for the invertebrates. It's a perfect picture of who really runs the animal world, at least when you're talking numbers. So what exactly is an invertebrate? Well, it's as simple as it sounds. It's any animal that does not have a backbone. Instead of that internal skeleton, a lot of them have a hard outer shell for protection. We call that an exoskeleton, while others are just soft and flexible. And the diversity in this group is just mind-blowing. It includes all the 6-legged insects, butterflies, ants, beetles, and the 8-legged arachnids like that spider we started with. Get this. Just those 2 groups alone have more species than all other animal groups combined. It's wild. And the variety just keeps coming. You've got mollusks. These are soft-bodied animals, which includes the crazy intelligent octopus. And then you have the hard-shelled crustaceans. Think of them like the armored tanks of the sea, from tiny shrimp to giant crabs. And we're not even done. You've got your soft-bodied worms, you've got stinging creatures called cnidarians, think jellyfish, and then the spiny-skinned echinoderms like sea stars. Honestly, the list just goes on and on. The sheer variety is staggering. Okay, we've met both teams. Now it's time for the main event. Let's put them side by side, head to head, to really lock in what makes them different. This table here makes the contrast crystal clear. Okay, backbone. Yes for vertebrates, no for invertebrates. That's the big one. That leads to different skeleton types. But look at the population size. That's the most dramatic split. Vertebrates are this tiny 3% minority. And while we might think of ourselves as more complex, the incredible, sprawling success of the invertebrates, well, it tells a whole different kind of story. All right, so we know the difference, we know who's who, but so what? Why does this split, this simple classification, actually matter in the grand scheme of things? Well, this really basic split is the foundation for everything else. It's the first step that allows scientists to start mapping out the family tree of life, to understand evolutionary relationships, and, most importantly, to figure out what job each and every animal has in its own environment. And those jobs are absolutely vital. You see, vertebrates often play the role of top predators or major grazers, shaping their world from the top down. But the invertebrates, they are these silent, tireless engines of our planet. They're the pollinators for so much of our food, the decomposers recycling nutrients back into the earth, and they are the base of countless food webs that pretty much everything else depends on. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. We've seen the familiar but incredibly rare vertebrates, and the massive, endlessly diverse world of invertebrates. Look, neither group is better than the other. The planet absolutely needs both to function. But it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Which one, the 3% or the 97%, truly holds more sway over the health of our world? It's something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.